Hey YouTube, it's been a while since I've made any content for my channel. I haven't really been getting out much, as many of you probably aren't. I do usually do unboxing videos and then sometimes collection videos if I have something to open that I got in the mail, whatever. I'll open that too. I get a lot of stuff in the mail and a lot of stuff I don't show, but I'm working on a bigger video where I did a significant repair to an older system that if I can figure out how to edit it, I'll do that. As you probably could tell for the rest of my videos, I'm not great at editing, so it's something new that I'm trying to do. And when I do, it will be a significant video, hopefully helpful to people, but we'll see. But today what I wanted to do was kind of go through like a top 10 list of Nintendo Entertainment System, NES games that have some kind of special meaning to me. They're games from my collection. If I don't have them, then I'm not going to talk about them. But, you know, I have most of the games that I liked to play as a kid and some games that I still play today. So what I'm going to do is just go through each one in no particular order and just talk a little bit about why I like the game and what it means to me. So without further ado, I'll start out with the first game, and that game is Double Dragon. Now the reason that Double Dragon is meaningful to me is because, you know, when I was a kid, it was just so fun to jump into this game so easily, and the fighting mechanic in the game was super fun. The hit detection in the game, you know, just that good feeling of connecting the punches and kicks in the game. Easy to learn, hard to master. But the various moves that you could pick up as you played, and just the all-around good music in the game, very catchy, very memorable. It's a good game. A lot of great memories playing this with family or friends. Second game, shouldn't be a surprise that it's on the list to anyone. It's got a little something rattling around inside, but that's Castlevania, right? So Castlevania it's a challenging game, but it's an addictive game because it's challenging and because it's one of those games that requires you to play through it several times to sort of master it. And it's like, as frustrating as it can be, you just have that desire to continue to play this game and get past that level. And the feeling that you get for getting past the level, despite, you know, Medusa's knocking you off of platforms and things like that that are continually frustrating, the feeling you get of accomplishment for passing a level is worth it. So with this one, you know, I think I had it as a kid. I know I played it as a kid. I probably played it at my cousin's house because they had everything. So the music is very familiar to me. It brings back a lot of memories, hearing the music. The story and the theme, you know, that, you know, Dracula theme, whatever, was cool, and it was kind of unique for its time. Just a great all-around game. The next one, probably one of the games that I spent the most time playing, or at least a significant amount of time playing, and that is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Sorry for the glare. One of the few NES games that I have complete in box, and I found it complete at a garage sale for a very low price, so I was very happy to get it that way because of all the games in my collection. It is one that I really like to have in the box because of the meaning behind it. And look how cool Mike Tyson looks on the front of it. But the thing with this game is that, again, you know, it could be difficult. It kind of ramps up in difficulty, you know, starting with Glass Joe. You know, everyone can beat Glass Joe. And then you go on and the challenge increases, but there's a pattern to the game. There's a way to beat the game, and you just have to keep playing it to know. And again, the music is great. The characters are unique and cool. and there's sort of a balance to the game that makes it fun. It's that when you get to Mike Tyson, all bets are off. You have to know how to beat Mike Tyson, and I never did as a kid, and I don't think I've beat him as an adult either, but I might try. So that's that. The next game, I don't think I had it as a kid, but I just have a lot of memories of this game. Probably, again, at my cousin's house or whatever, but the game is Metroid. And the one I have has this yellow label. That is not the one that I'm familiar with. The one that I'm familiar with is the black label. This just happens to be the one that I have. Yeah, the game was just so different than anything else. The style, you know, now we're all familiar with the term Metroidvania now, which I think, you know, probably has more to do with like Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Super Metroid. But I mean, this game was just so unique for the time. The upgrades were cool. The fact that you could get these missiles and you could get the different upgrades for your beam, your cannon, whatever. And just the bosses were cool, and the characters are cool and everything. So the music is also like creepy and great. So a lot of good memories with this, and I still go back to this now and then. Even though I would say in the series, I like Metroid Prime, and I like Super Metroid is definitely my favorite. But there's a place in my heart for this game, definitely. Next one is Contra. I think, like everybody else, I can still to this day remember the Contra code, right? The Konami code, which is not just for Contra, but you know, the fact that that is so ingrained in our heads, you know, just says something about this game and Konami. This game just did everything right. You know, the way the gameplay, it's challenging, but it's fun to play. Upgrades, the cooperative gameplay, and just the music, everything about it was just so fun. And it was definitely a game that you wanted to play with your friends at their house over and over again and try and make it further. Now, as an adult, I finally did beat this on my own, probably just a couple weeks ago. Of course, I had to use the code, so, you know, maybe I should try to do it without that. But, hey, just saying I beat it was something special to me. And I'm glad to have this one in my collection. Next one is DuckTales. Alright, so, you know, Disney had this thing on the NES with Capcom and making these great games, these great Disney afternoon games, right? Chip and Dale, DuckTales, Tailspin, whatever, Little Mermaid, etc. This one is probably the best one of those games for me. Like, it just was so fun to play. It's a short game, there aren't a lot of levels, but the fact that you could just pick which level you wanted to start with made it so it wasn't so repetitious and boring. You could, if you weren't having luck on one level, you could go to a different one. The whole pogo stick mechanic thing was just satisfying to do with the cane. The music is super catchy, super terrific. It's not super difficult, but there is a little bit of challenge there. So it's a fun game. Definitely got good memories of this one. Next one is The Goonies 2. When I was a kid and this came out, you know, we were kind of all confused, like, well, where's The Goonies 1? And there's no Goonies 2 movie, so what is this based off of? And, you know, now we know there was a Goonies 1, it just wasn't a game that any of us had played. So, the thing with this, it was a game that we rented, I believe, at my cousin's house. And it was so, like, you know, interesting, like the platforming, but then also going in the rooms and exploring, hitting walls with a hammer or your fist or whatever, finding items, you know, talking to the weird Konami man that just showed up randomly. You didn't know why. It was just so interesting, but so difficult too. Like the memorization that's required to play this game. As an adult, I had to use a walkthrough to be able to figure out how to get through. So I did beat it a year or two ago. but I did have to cheat a little bit because it's just so difficult to remember which doors to go through and which direction. A lot of backtracking and things like that. But cool game, nonetheless. Still very much one of my favorites. This one's pretty common, but there's this. It's just one of those games that I never get sick of, really, and that is Super Mario Brothers, the original. The thing about this copy that I have here in my hand is this is the one that I got for Christmas when I was a kid. Me, my brother, and my sister, we got a Nintendo for Christmas, and this was the first game I ever played on Nintendo. It was really the first console game that I played. My neighbor had an Atari, but this had so, you know, it was so cool, so unique. The gameplay so tight. The music was cool and catchy, memorable. Just a classic game all around. But this is special because it's the one that I had as a kid. It's the only game that I still have from my childhood for NES. Down to the last two. So the next one actually says it's from College Hill Video on the back. You might not be able to see that because of the glare. But it is River City Ransom. Now the thing with this game is my cousin and I rented this one night at my house. We got like a 12-pack Coke. We stayed up all night long playing this game, co-op, drank all the Coke, you know, got up like 6 in the morning, walked downstairs. My parents were like, "Why are you up so early?" We're like, "Well, we never went to bed. We were playing this game all night long until we beat it." And the thing that was so addictive about it was the fact that there's like, you know, an upgrade system to the game. There's these shops you go into, you can get food, whatever, you can get, read books and learn new moves and stuff, and the moves were so cool. And it was just so fun that we were just addicted to it. We were hooked and we had to stay up all night and play it. So I was very happy to get this game again, and it's great to have it in my collection. Okay, last one. So the last game I want to talk about is Ryker. Now, is this my favorite game of all time? Not necessarily, but it's a game that I keep going back to. We had it as a kid, and like nobody else I knew had this game or even knew what the heck it was. And I'm sure when my parents got it for us, they had no idea what it was about either. It just looked interesting on the front. But the thing about it, like the music in this game, like it will get stuck in your head and you will be humming the music for like the next 3 weeks after you play this game because it's so good. And the game is weird. It has like light RPG elements. You can build up experience and stuff, and then you can sort of, there's special moves that you can do that help you in the game. It also helps you build up your health over time, and then it's just a unique game. The hit detection, or like the weapon, when you use it, it's very satisfying the way it feels. It's almost like the sound makes it seem like you can actually feel the hits. It's hard to explain. You just have to play it. The exploration and item collection in the game also makes it unique and interesting. It's just a really great game, and I still love to go back to it to this day. So, you know, Ryker, very high up there on my list of great games. So, that's the list. I know people are going to, you know, like some of these games, love some of these games, hate some of these games, think they're too common and too predictable. That's fine. Again, this is just the games that I liked as a kid and continue to like to this day, and that I'm happy to have in my collection. With that, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you didn't, don't bother. And subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. And with that, that's everything. Thanks.